This is Jeremy Sports Network coming to you live. Hey, you guys, we're about to watch a replay of the Shawn Porter versus Andre Berto fight. It was an amazing fight on last night. In case you guys missed it, I'm going to bring you that fight back um, to you, HD quality. And I mean, it was a great elimination bout for the welterweight division. Shawn Porter did his thing, even though it was a lot of accidental headbutts in this fight. But I want you guys to tune in and really pay attention to what Shawn Porter did differently in this fight than what he did when he was in the fight with Keith Thurman. Because now he's a mandatory for Keith Thurman now. And since he's a mandatory for Keith Thurman, then this right here just pretty much solidifies what's going to happen in the division. Shawn Porter asked Keith Thurman. No, Keith Thurman was asked last night on who he's willing to fight next in the division. Will it be Keith Thurman? I mean, will it be Shawn Porter? Would it be Danny Garcia? Would it be Errol Spence? Would it be Lamont Peterson? And the name that Keith Thurman threw out there was Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao. He is looking to fight Manny Pacquiao. He's ready to fight Manny Pacquiao right now so that it could be a big fight for Manny Pacquiao who is ready to leave the division. So if Manny Pacquiao is looking to leave the division, I mean not the division, but boxing itself, then why not Keith Thurman go on to take on this fight with Manny Pacquiao? I think it's good. I think it's good. So we're finna get ready to watch this fight, and I'm actually waiting on my dad before I started because I'm going to let him watch this fight. He didn't get an opportunity to watch it, but this is going to be good because this is going to actually dictate what's going to take place in the division right now. So when we have Errol Spence winning against Kell Brook unification bout, that's going to really determine what Keith Thurman is going to do if he does not land a Manny Pacquiao fight. So if he don't land a Manny Pacquiao fight, then most definitely this will be a fight that he's looking to have with Errol Spence versus Kell Brook. So we're about to get ready to go ahead and start watching this fight. I'm gonna give you guys probably another minute and a half, maybe, until we start the stream of this fight. And man, like I can't help but to be thankful for what Showtime is giving us. Al Heyman is giving us. Al Heyman, hands down, is really giving us the best fights right now that is possible in the welterweight division, in the middleweight division, and we saw last night with the Charlo, with Jermell Charlo. Jermell Charlo put on a clinic against Charles Hatley last night. If you guys missed that fight with Jermell Charlo versus Charles Hatley, man, I'm going to be bringing you back that fight as well. But I'm definitely bringing you the main event right now. So we're going to be doing that in about another 30 seconds or so. So stay tuned. This is Jeremy Sports Network. We are getting ready. All right. Let's go ahead and tune in into this fight. Actually, go ahead and screen share with you guys. And here we go. Some of the key things that I want you guys to look for is definitely when Shawn Porter started molding on Andre Berto. How was Andre Berto able to respond? That was one of the biggest questions going into this fight. How is he going to respond? So we're going to see in this fight.
His big bugaboo has been the inactivity because he has performed so well. And really, if you think about it, but for a few points here and there on scorecards against Kell Brook and Keith Thurman, he could be the person that people think
this is going to be a good fight for you guys who did not see the fight on last night. Shawn Porter, he's made a claim in the welterweight division. Do I believe he's going to beat Keith Thurman in their second fight? Absolutely not. He's a one-style fighter. Keith Thurman is going to do the same thing that he did in the first fight against Shawn Porter when they fight again for a second time, if they fight for a second time.
Welterweight champion of the world, Andre Berto.
The funny thing is, last night, while we was watching the fight, somebody said, is that the same outfit that Andre Berto had on when he fought Floyd Mayweather? In the media, I thought that was absolutely funny. But Andre Berto, man, last night, he did a phenomenal job. I mean, he did what he could do against Shawn Porter. Could he have done differently? I don't think so, because Andre Berto is not that type of fighter who can stand somebody giving him that pressure all night like Shawn Porter did. And we're going to see that definitely in this fight. But I believe it's the end for Andre Berto. I don't see him having no more fights in the top class of the division.
You start to really deal with pressure every second, every round a little bit worse than you used to as a younger fighter when you're hungrier and you're lying. You know, Andre Berto told you say all the right things when you're this.
Hey, shouts out to my dad if he's watching.
In the ring is when you really find out how badly you want it, because in the ring, there's moments where you will suffer. This fight, there will be.
I want to give a shout out to him, definitely.
Will he answer the call? Or will he
So, Pops, what's up? Thank you for tuning in.
Man, at my age, do I really still want to do this after all the millions I've made? That's the tricky thing about aging in boxing. The hourglass starts to run out of your career. It's up to you to make the proper decisions underneath the pressure and the lights.
This fight's never warned a negative Yelp review. Al, take us through the numbers for this main event, a welterweight title elimination bout.
Well, the physical dimensions of these fighters are very, very similar. The one number that does jump out at you is the age of Andre Berto. How many miles are on the tread of those wheels? One other important number, as we've pointed out in this broadcast, the fact that Porter is coming in off a 10-month layoff, Berto off a 12-month layoff, who will be sharper, especially at the beginning of this fight.
So we are set for the main event, Barclays Center, Brooklyn. And here comes the inimitable voice of Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Barclays Center here in Brooklyn, New York, as Premier Boxing Champions presents the featured bout of the evening, brought to you by DeBella Entertainment and Showtime, sponsored by Corona. This bout is sanctioned by the WBC President Mauricio Suleiman. Supervisor is Mo Noor, along with the New York State Athletic Commission. The interim chairperson is Ndidi Messi. Introducing our three judges scoring this main event from ringside, we have from Oneida, New York, Don Ackerman. From Montreal, Quebec, Canada, Pasquale Procopio. And from Brooklyn, New York, Robin Taylor. Introducing our third man to the ring, the referee in charge. He'll be giving instructions after the introductions, Mark Nelson. All right, fans, here we go with the main event of the evening, 12 rounds of boxing in an eliminator for the WBC Welterweight Championship of the World. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, live from
Look at Sam Watson back there, man. That guy is so awesome. I had the pleasure of meeting Sam Watson, man. He's a really cool guy. And I took my hat off to Sam Watson, man. He is always in the middle of everything that goes on in boxing.
Green and yellow trim, fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, by way of Cleveland, Ohio. He weighed in at the welterweight limit of 147 pounds. With 4 world title appearances in his career, his professional record stands at 26 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, with 16 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the WBC number 3 ranked contender and the former IBF welterweight champion of the world, introducing Showtime, SHAWN Porter.
If you guys didn't know what the purses was for this fight, Shawn Porter made $1 million, and they gave Andre Berto 1.2 mil.
Right, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black and white trunks, joining us from his home in Winter Haven, Florida.
But Andre Berto, he needed that 1.2 mil, given the simple fact that this is probably his last big money fight. I don't see him having another one.
By way of knockout.
After losing the way he did to
9
Shawn
world
Porter.
title bouts, he is currently ranked the WBC number 4 contender. Please welcome the former IBF, the former WBC welterweight champion of the world, introducing Andre Berto. Once again, our referee in charge now to give instructions is Mark Nelson.
Gentlemen, you received my instructions in the dressing room. You both know exactly what I expect. A good, clean fight. Obey my commands and protect yourself at all times. Touch them up. Good luck to both of you.
The referee, Mark Nelson, with final instructions. At the age of 33, the battle-hardened Andre Berto knows Father Time could come calling at any time. However, he feels he can still be the cream of the crop, hence his mantra, the harvest is coming. Porter says you're going to see excitement. You're going to see some heavy punches landed, and ultimately you're going to see 2 great warriors duke it out and leave their hearts.
Now, this first round right here really dictated a lot. Like when I go back to my notes and I go back on what took place in this first round.
We hope will best describe this welterweight showdown. Action begins.
It was some great combinations by Berto.
And Andre Berto. Porter in the
and
blue,
Porter
green,
did a good
and
job
yellow.
starting working the body. So
the
pay
black
attention
and
to
white.
Porter working the body and Andre Berto getting off on those combinations.
Porter wants to attack carefully and attack smartly. He and his father both talked about the fact that they want to work their way in, but not necessarily stay on the inside.
Yeah, they studied the Floyd Mayweather fight with Andre Berto, and they talked about taking a few notes on that fight. Now, Paulie, do you think that's the right strategy against a guy like Berto?
Here's the thing. I think Porter's best asset is the fact that he pressures and he throws a lot of punches and he keeps you both mentally and physically occupied every second of every round. But a guy like Berto, who's got a sharp counter uppercut and can punch a little bit, you want to be leery of that at times. But yeah, of course, having said that, Keith Thurman was a big puncher and Porter attacked him and had a lot of success in that fight. So I think Porter's best asset is to pressure a lot. If he boxes, it may throw Berto off for a round or 2, but I think your best bet is not to box Berto. I feel like Berto will be the better boxer.
Well, I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of what is transpiring early here, Al, with, human television during the boxing version of uppercuts as they collide, and it's not always beautiful. It's sometimes brutal, but it can be effective.
Shawn Porter, former football player in the high school, who started fighting at 165 because he's a football player. He's strong on the inside. And you saw him kind of pushing Berto around there.
And Berto comes from a family of fighters. His father, Giselle, competed in the Ultimate Fighting Championship. His brother, Edson, was a mixed martial artist. His sisters, it's a family of combat sports athletes.
Yeah, you don't want to get caught in an alleyway against those guys.
No. And at the dinner table, do not reach for food without knowing it's okay.
Without using your proper etiquette.
A minute left in the opening round. When this fight was announced, it was expected that it would be action-packed. And to go, and Berto with a double jab that
Did you see that double jab by
grabbed the
Berto?
attention of Porter.
And that right there is
If
what
he
I'm saying.
was, if he's able to box Sean Porter, man, he would have won easily.
But I do think Porter can really make Berto uncomfortable with a lot of pressure, as Porter tends to make a lot of other guys uncomfortable with that pressure.
And there was Berto taking a page out of his family's other playbook.
But watch how Porter just bring that pressure to Berto. And Berto is nowhere near ready for it.
I was just going to say that. Darn it.
Seconds counting down to the opening round, and that windmill right hand just missed for Porter as he attacks the body in the clinch. So a feeling out process, getting to know you round here in Brooklyn.
So as you saw Porter, like he was showing you how he's going to bring that pressure on the Berto.
For Andre Berto, something
But
that
Berto really is going to have to outbox anybody
effective.
that brings pressure on him, and he hasn't been able to do that at all. We saw him
has a very good one.
getting knocked down by Victor Ortiz as well.
The uppercut, and we have seen that punch land against Sean Porter. As for Sean Porter, I believe he's got to use his jab to get on the inside and push the pace of this fight. It's a power jab. It's a very good punch. We did see him work the body very well at times in round number 1, and we saw him wing a big overhand right at the end of the round. He wants to get that punch in.
The bell in round 2, the Porter camp told us that what probably cost him the
this was a good round too. I think this was a knockdown round.
Porter's
for Sean Porter
that they
was able to
working on
drop
his defense in camp,
Berto in
moving
this
out of the
round.
way after throwing punches, and they think it will it bode them well in this fight against Berto.
And it isn't that Porter fought bad
He
defense
landed the
in
right
that fight,
hand
but just
to
couldn't
drop him.
improve. You know, Berto normally throws about 10 punches less per round than Porter. They both threw fewer punches than they normally do, but Porter did throw more in round number 1.
Porter changes levels, attacks the body before they clinch.
This is where Porter,
But this is where Porter comes with that mauling, man. When he's all in your face. They already headbutting each other already.
Former high school wrestler, so physically he can push you around and create space in there.
He's doing a great job working the body.
And Berto is starting to show some swelling on that right eye. And he got hit with a hook inside or a headbutt, who knows?
And maybe Berto was trying to motivate himself, but he did tell us he feels he's faster, stronger, more explosive than Porter. He said his experience is going to prove to be the difference in this fight. He also told us that while Porter is a pressure fighter, a lot of it isn't effective pressure, just a lot of mauling, as you alluded to, Paulie.
A moment ago, though, that nice right hand by Porter landed on the inside. It was a very good punch.
And Mauro, you made a point with Berto talking about the explosiveness. A prime Andre Berto was very explosive. I just don't know at what point, how close he is to his prime here. Because Porter is explosive.
Referee's going to have his hands full, literally, telling both fighters to
see Sean
keep
Porter
it clean.
just
And now
getting
Porter
inside,
has
working.
creating enough distance where they're both throwing punches.
Berto's not ready for that.
And this is where Porter is effective. This is where Porter makes you uncomfortable. And it's not just physical, it's also mental.
But you can't discount the heart and the warrior spirit of Andre Berto. Final minute of just the second round, and already fisted fireworks here, as expected. Berto looking to hang on.
I don't know if he's looking to hang on.
And he was complaining.
Yeah, he's looking to hang on because he wants to make the punches stop.
Sean's already
That's the
bleeding
thing,
from
they
a
start waiting
headbutt,
on
but
him.
it was
You don't
accidental,
want to
though.
make them stop coming forward. He's cut. Wow, Porter's cut bad.
And there was a clash of heads, as Berto indicated. And the referee has now made it official, accidental blood. Porter has been cut many times, including in his last fight against Keith Thurman under the left eye, but that is a nasty gash as we head into the home stretch of round 2.
Man, that's a bad one, man. I don't know, man. They might have to stop this thing. And that's also a risk about a Sean Porter fight. You know, he's always coming in forward. A lot of times he leads with his head. And he's so aggressive.
And he does really at times approach it like he's still on the gridiron.
Yeah.
Boom! Did you see that right hand? Pow! I told you, that pressure that he brings on Berto cannot handle that pressure from Sean Porter.
Like a warrior to the blood on his face.
And Berto tastes the canvas for the 8th time in his career, frustrated at the turn of events of that round.
And Berto shaking his head on the way back to the corner. Porter will bring that out of you.
You love him. Stay focused. Listen to me. Hey, what you doing? It's going to be moments like that. The way you overcome it is by being a great right shot. Stay focused and blank. He's got a cut eye now. Understand? He's got to fight like that. So in the inside, don't raise your legs up. Talking about the overhand right for Shawn Porter, and here's where he gets low.
See, did you hear Virgil tell him to
Takes a
look for
left
that
hook from
uppercut?
Berto,
Man,
but
next
delivers his
round,
own right hand that
watch
bounces
out
off the head of
for
Berto and
Berto,
knocks him
man,
down.
landing that
So
sneaky
we saw
uppercut.
two elements there. We saw Berto landing the counter left hook, but then we saw
It's going to
Porter
be
landing
quick,
the
but
right.
it's going to
Did
be
you get a look
very
at that
effective.
cut, which they did a pretty
But-
good job on in the corner.
Shawn just kept bringing that pressure.
This is round number 3, and things already heating up between Showtime Shawn Porter and Andre Berto. The carrot dangling in front of them, an opportunity to challenge Keith Thurman for the WBC's green belt.
In the last round, 20 of the landed punches, according to show stats by Porter, were to the body. He really went downstairs very effectively.
Of course, Berto had the green belt at one time, then suffered a first loss against Victor Ortiz in what was the fight of the year that year, also a savage affair against Robert Guerrero. And what about when he ripped apart his right shoulder in the 4th round of that fight with Jesus Soto Caras and still went to the 12th? So again, you can say many things about Andre Berto, Paulie, and maybe the journey he took, but you cannot question his character and heart.
Oh, absolutely. You said he comes from a family of fighters.
Oh,
You know, they come fighting out of the room, and that's mental and physical. Of course, he's going to be mentally tested here in this fight because he took another butt from Porter. This is what I was talking about earlier in the fight. You've made your millions. You've made a ton of money. You've had a great career if you're Andre Berto. You start to ask yourself when you're in a fight like this, do I really need this? I'm telling you, guys, it's a weird feeling. You know, because mentally this kind of fight, it puts you in places where you're not comfortable.
Fierce exchange. Berto trying to hang on.
Mark Nelson is faced with decisions every 5 seconds.
Boom. You see that right hand land?
Look at Porter. He will not accept.
Watch that uppercut by Berto, though. He's going to sneak it in.
May not be textbook, but
Yes.
Porter shoe shine in the body of Berto. Berto trying to lean in.
Those are big body shots.
And yeah, Porter treating Berto's body like it's
Boom. Nice right hand. 2 right hands by Berto.
It's a minute left to the 3rd.
And whether they are or not, this is what I'm talking about with the mental pressure.
Oh, right uppercut on the
Boom.
inside.
But you see that sneaky uppercut that Berto landed right there? That slows Shawn down.
We've seen the blood of Shawn Porter with the guts of both of these warriors, and we're just heading into the tail end of round 3 now.
Berto would love to land either one of those nice left hooks, or there he tries the uppercut. He needs to land something significant to keep Porter off him.
And I think Berto has to go back to the basics, start off the jab again.
There's the uppercut.
Berto right uppercut on the inside. Oh, but there's the rabbit punch by Berto.
There's also no space.
No rabbit punch.
Berto needs a little bit of space to throw that uppercut. He needs a little bit of space in general. He's got to use his jab more. You see it right here. He's out of distance. He's not using that jab. If you're being out jabbed by Porter, it's a bad sign.
And Porter was landing
9
jabs all
minutes
night.
have elapsed. Keith Thurman, of course, watching with vested interest. After all, he's the
Mama,
man
there
who
goes that
won the
man right
titles.
there, and Keith one-time
The
Thurman.
winner will be the mandatory challenger for Thurman's WBC belt. And Errol Spence, undefeated American southpaw, will travel across the pond next month to track to
Man, I had
challenge
an awesome time
Imports
talking to
backyard
Errol
of
Spence
Sheffield.
as well.
Many people, including you,
He's a
Paulie,
phenomenal
believe Spence
champion.
could be
I
the
mean,
next big
well,
thing.
soon to be champion. But
But take a look
he's
back
about
at
to be king of the
this
division
past round
real
where-
soon.
and he breathes. Okay. We saw the aggressiveness of Porter. Now, that's important. Look, he used the jab to get inside. Then he was able to throw this array of punches. Not everything landing, but the jab got him here where he could rip the hook, throw the body.
But
and
watch
then
this
here was
sneaky
Andre
uppercut by
Berto with some
Berto, though. Oh, well,
frustration
that's the rabbit punch.
with a clear rabbit punch as Porter had his head away from the head of Berto, so there's no butt involved.
Round 4, and quickly, Paulie, why are you so high on Errol Spence?
Well, I think, he's got the southpaw stance, great body puncher, solid timing fighter, fundamentally sound. I mean, there's not a lot to not like about Errol Spence. Explosive and fun to watch, great personality, very marketable fighter.
Porter sticks the jab, and then they grapple, and Berto's frustration. And the referee say, come on, let's clean it up. But Berto's frustration written all over his face.
It's hard to referee a Shawn Porter fight, and if you go into a fight with Shawn Porter, you can't expect the referee to really help you much.
Good 1-2 as Porter momentarily blinded Berto with the jab. Berto trying to attack the body and just pushing.
It's a misnomer, though, to think that Shawn Porter is just about roughhousing, because you look at him landing all these nice short punches to the body and the head. He's an effective fighter as well. He lands a lot of punches.
A lot of it, though, is at close range out.
I agree. But I'm just saying, it's not just about the roughhousing.
It's not, but a lot of the roughhousing creates the opening.
Yes, absolutely.
That's where he's at his most effective.
I agree. But look at those short counter punches when Berto's on the inside. I'm saying he can do it. And you're right. It's creating.
See how Shawn just is so relentless, man.
You start to want to get out of there. You don't know where to go. You're like, man, how do I get this guy off me? I can't even fight him off because he's smothering my own offense. Look, Berto wants to win for the uppercut game, but where is it?
Yeah.
And left into the
But watch that uppercut, though, that Berto's going to drop him. Boom. Like I'm telling you. If Berto could get going with that uppercut, man, if he could have got going.
Finally, he was able to get that punch in.
Accidental butt.
Another butt.
Accidental headbutt.
Another accidental butt.
And it's Porter that keeps getting cut.
And Berto wanted to get right back at him. He wanted to take the momentum from landing that uppercut.
Wow, he's cut over both eyes.
Left eye of Shawn Porter beginning to swell badly, and again they threw caution to the wind before sticking to each other like Velcro. Final 60 of the 4th.
They're going to get to work in that corner now with that 2 cuts in Porter's eye, and they're both in a bad spot.
And they're both leaning forward, and even like the angles are at here, they're just roughhousing.
They're leaning forward, but a lot of the headbutting comes from the Porter side. For all the good things Porter does.
That was a nice right hand by Porter.
Sweeping left hook.
Berto's cut too.
All right, uppercut by Berto.
Porter's got to be
Porter
careful.
trying to turn him.
Porter's got to be careful with that leaning inside.
Well, Berto's finally found a hook for that uppercut in this round.
See, those accidental headbutts, man, they really played a major factor in this fight. I believe that Andre Berto ended up like when we get into the 9th round, I think he had a slight concussion, mild concussion, which really caused for him to get knocked out in the 9th round. It was these headbutts, man. Shawn Porter with all that mulling that he's doing, leading with his head.
Yes, that's a good line.
Final seconds of the 4th, and Porter
We're already taking punches to the head,
Berto leading in.
and then those elbows too.
And we need to get through the 4th round to make it official. Due to all these cuts, due to the accidental butts, and we do.
Both of them got cuts. Andre Berto had a cut over his left eye. Shawn Porter had a cut over his left and right eye. But if you listen to Virgil's telling Andre Berto, man, to continue to box him, man. If he was to utilize his footwork and was to box Shawn Porter, man, he could have easily won this fight, just like Keith Thurman did. But Keith Thurman has way better footwork than Andre Berto.
So all the headbutts have been deemed accidental. We are in round 5. And while these two are going at it in the ring, This could very well be contested in a back alley the way
That
things have
jab is so
transpired.
nice from Porter.
Ronaldo, Al Bernstein, Paulie Malignaggi at ringside for Andre Berto, Shawn Porter, welterweight title elimination bout.
You see how Berto just pushed on Berto in disgust? That was like, I'm disgusted with you, Butch.
And I'll tell you, meanwhile, Porter was landing big body shots.
That's the thing, man.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Wow. The jabs have been abandoned at close range, and Porter leaning in, but Berto again trying to fight him off. The Cutman deserving bonuses tonight in this main event.
I'm going to go way back here. This is kind of like Carmen Basilio and Gene Foreman fighting.
That's what it really is.
Foreman did have a rough
in technicolor. In technicolor.
Yeah, precisely. I mean, that's just what it feels like.
And the question then becomes, guys, is Porter putting the pedal to the metal and putting on the gas because of the cuts?
Well, and of course, we would go to the scorecards if they stop this fight because of the cuts on either fighter. So you want to win rounds, obviously. I would say Porter's likely ahead in this fight.
Yeah.
Kind of action you might find in a game reserve with all of this ramming and the bodies colliding with a minute 13 left in the fifth.
Berto trying to start being first here.
Yeah.
Trying to make a concerted effort.
Over the top with the right hand. Under a minute left now in the fifth frame. And you have to imagine.
I think the blood was getting in Berto's eye, so they needed to wipe his eye. But Berto's good, man. I don't know, you know, they allow the judges to kind of step into this a little bit too much.
Why are they always looking at
The
Burrow's
doctors.
cuts but not Porter's? With all due respect, Porter's cut over both sides. So,
Well, Dr. Avery Brown has checked out Porter's cut, but you're right, Al, not at this time. But
yeah, but I mean, not in the middle of rounds.
No.
Twice in the middle of rounds, Burrow's been.
Ooh, nice right hand.
By Porter. Man,
See how relentless Shawn Porter is, man. He's like
I have such respect
right
for
there
Shawn
on
Porter's
Berto after
aggressiveness.
each breakup.
I know it's rough. I know it doesn't always look pretty, but man,
Not supposed to be pretty out. If it's pretty, it's not Porter's fight.
you're right.
This is how he wins.
Yes.
final 15 seconds of the fifth frame. And it's been a very close encounter.
Now heading into this next round, you're going to see Porter utilizing the jab. His jab was very effective headed into the sixth round.
We got this. We got this.
And Berto again, you know, he was landing that uppercut, man. And that uppercut was
Much of the
kind of
storyline
staggering
this fight
Shawn
now
Porter a little bit,
revolves
but
around
it
the
just
cuts
wasn't
of
enough to keep
various,
Shawn Porter off of him.
both of the fighters. And here we see on the inside Porter's head banging against Andre Berto's, and that created the cut over the left eye of Andre Berto. In round 4,
But you see, nothing is intentional, man. It's
as
just all
Berto
accidental
comes
headbutts.
in,
The
we're
type
gonna
of
see an
style that Porter
elbow.
fights.
Oh, that
That elbow right there kind of caught
that
Berto a little
bounces
bit.
off the left eye of Andre Berto. As a
But that was
left hand
accidental.
Half jab, half hook, all elbow though.
So it's been rough in there. Not for the faint of heart.
Doctor wants to see you. The doctor would like to see you. Doctors are making house calls here.
That's what I said. Like the doctors kind of played a little bit too much into those cuts, man, because the fighters was all right, man. You know, the cut was above Berto's eye, and both of them on Shawn Porter on his left and right eye was above his eye. You know, nothing was too drastic to where these fighters could not perform.
This is going to become a mental battle of attrition.
And they once again renew hostilities here in round number 6, scheduled for 12.
tell you, credit to Porter, guys, because I'll tell you what, he's probably up in the fight. He's got 2 cuts over both eyes. He could easily say, I can't see, and win this fight on the cards. In my opinion. You know,
and it has been done before.
Yeah. So,
and right, and a reminder, because of what Paul is saying, you know, if this fight were stopped due to those cuts, they would go to the scorecards.
and of course,
Let's bring in our unofficial Showtime Championship Boxing score, Steve Farhood.
Mo, I don't think this has been a very difficult fight to score. You see, I have Porter up 49-45. The first round, very little happened. Berto landed the cleaner punches.
Oh, nice right hand by Berto.
Shawn Porter. And as you guys have pointed out, should this fight end now?
But watch Shawn, man, utilize the jab, man. The jab was so effective for Shawn Porter in this fight. He threw tons more jabs than Andre Berto did.
Close.
And see, right now, Berto should be utilizing the jab, but he's not.
He still intends to win. There's times in a fight where a fighter's still in there, but he's gotten the winning mentality beaten out of him. I don't see that Andre Berto. I see him still trying to win the fight. I see him still trying to look for shots.
Oh, that uppercut.
Look for that counter left.
Oh, that counter left hook.
And then flipped it with the left.
Those are the 2 punches you have to throw against Shawn Porter. You've got to land the left, and you've got to land the uppercut. Those are important weapons.
A little bit more reactive this round is Berto on the timing shots.
And kudos to both cut men. We have Hal Chernoff and Showtime Shawn Porter.
Oh, boy. That was a slip. That was not a knockdown.
Donaldin's in Berto's corner.
Right after Berto landed a very nice uppercut.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. He's starting to see the openings for the uppercut. He's starting to really hone in on it.
Oh, stiff jab by Porter score.
And that's what Porter's got to do on his way in. He's got to continue to jab.
Yeah, double jab misses with the right.
And throw off the timing. Throw off Berto's ability to time him. That jab will do that.
Final minute of the 6th.
There it is again.
We're seeing Andre Berto move more. That's not normally his stock in trade.
Berto absorbing the combination by Porter. Not all of those punches scoring, but still, Porter looking to impose his presence on not only Berto, but the judges.
So you see here, Porter's got to be first in the jab.
Pivot by Porter and works the body effectively along the ropes.
It's a hard fight where timing is going to come into play because Porter's style is so physical and he rushes in on you. He's hard to time. So a lot of times for Berto, he might be better off being first with the jab and leading a little bit.
Porter comfortable and leading with that jab. There sticks the jab again. Does a good job of avoiding the attack of Berto. So Porter closes out round 6 with another effective round as we head into the second half of this welterweight title elimination bout.
Andre Berto went to the canvas in the last round, not from a knockdown. Ironically, he had just
he landed that hook. Wow.
Uppercut and landed it. Look at that excellent uppercut, but got himself off balance and fell down, which was a bad break for him because he just landed a good punch. Although Porter did not look like he was hurt by that uppercut, and some gamesmanship by Porter there, and we see it again. The uppercut landed, but Andre Berto had a few other balance issues during that round. In this case, hit the canvas.
Okay? You're doing good. Don't reach for him, okay? He's confused. One way, that's all he's been doing. One way. This is all he's doing now, big and right. Let me get to that. Excuse me. Come on.
Been a grueling affair as we enter round at number 7. The cuts have been well documented. And Paulie, with both Berto and Porter enjoying the inside fighting. What does it take to be an effective inside fighter?
Well, you know, you want to obviously be physical, but
nice counter right by Berto.
You want to obviously be physical in there, but in terms of creating the openings, you know, a lot of it is it's up to your physical presence in there, your ability to step around and step inside.
In this round, Porter was landing more clean, effective punches to the body. He really worked the body in this 7th round.
You know, Paulie made the point that Porter was using his jab effectively in the last round, borne out by the show stat numbers that say he landed 10 of 20 jabs in the last round. And previously he had been averaging 4 of 15 in his 7 fights. So he is, previous 7 fights, so he is using that punch effectively.
1 minute has elapsed in the 7th. Porter looking to shuffle, trying to Discombobulate Berto, who gets blinded with the jab and gets stuck with another jab. Right uppercut on the inside by Porter, who again peppers the body in the clinch.
But you see how relentless Shawn is?
Inside fighting, no good inside fighter. Fight's totally clean. When you're on the inside that much, you figure out ways to use your elbows, your headbutts, and all that good stuff.
Spoken like a true
Well,
boxer.
it's adjusting the body, but Drew said if you're not cheating, you're not trying. A minute and a half left in the seventh.
One thing, if you're a boxer and if you guys are tuning in, watching this, you have to appreciate the conditioning of Shawn Porter, man. Ken Porter and Shawn Porter, man, they're phenomenal with conditioning.
Right uppercut as Porter targets the head with those sweeping shots.
Porter is a gym rat.
Berto.
This fight being fought more at long range at this moment. Yeah, at this moment at least, until Berto retreats to the ropes, which he hopes he won't. This has been a decent round for Berto.
Yeah, if he can consistently create some space, he'll have room to leverage his shots. Berto needs a little bit of space to get the leverage on his power shots.
Berto timing Porter as Porter leaned in and was caught with the right hand. There's a stiff jab again, delivered by Showtime Shawn Porter.
As I said, that jab, man, was very effective, and it was landing real clearly. Over those shots to the body.
Both exchanging body shots at close range.
But to Porter's offense, man, he didn't back down, He didn't back down at all.
Oh, nice.
Wow, boy, look at that jab by Shawn.
And I think that's Berto's way of respecting it.
That jab was just pretty. Like I told you, he landed the more clean, effective punches in this round alone. In his next round, man, Shawn Porter also had another good round. And it just seemed as though he was wearing down on Andre Berto. Andre Berto was wearing down.
Maintain your focus, all right? I don't want you leaving on the inside right there.
You see Ken Porter getting on the Shawn about that leaning. When he leans in, that's when Berto drops that uppercut in. Pow! It's so sneaky.
Green and yellow, Andre Berto in the black and white. What a grueling affair it has been thus far, Al Bernstein.
Yeah, I think that last round was very important for Andre Berto. I think personally he probably won it. And other than round one, it's probably the first round he's won in this fight. And I think very important because it may put him still in the hunt to even get a decision in this fight if he can really close strong. But he's got to win almost every round.
Combination by Porter.
Look at how relentless Shawn is.
And Porter a buzzsaw to the body.
But that shot to the body slowed Berto down.
That's the thing about Porter's physical prowess. So he'll force mistakes out of you. You'll be so busy dealing with
Berto trying to hang on, but cornered it. Porter pummeling the body.
You see, you're trying to deal with the physical prowess of Porter. That you're not able to get
punches. It punches. Porter teeing off on Andre Berto.
Berto giving a wing dust over here, so he's got it under control. See if he can react to it.
A barrage of body shots, making that investment in Shawn Porter here in round number 8.
Shawn Porter was bringing that heat in the 8th round.
Berto seems relaxed in there, but he's being outworked, and that is the thing with the rounds. It's going to cost you the rounds.
33 years of age, a two-time welterweight champion who's been in pitched battles with the likes of Robert Guerrero and Victor Ortiz.
Oh, good body shot by Berto there.
And the overhand right of Porter is landing now a lot. Shawn Porter's not a big puncher. He hasn't knocked out welterweights.
And Porter,
but he can throw a lot of punches and land them.
the casualty of the
See, but Shawn Porter just keep pushing him back to the ropes. Berto just showed nothing really, and I thought he was more exhausted than anything. But you see that uppercut landing in? He just didn't possess any power, man.
Create space for the Porter. Doesn't give you a lot of space in there.
In this round, look at the show stat numbers.
Look at the power punches.
34 of
69,
power punches, and
415 for Berto. Are you serious?
Punches.
And Berto, who trains near San Francisco, Oakland, under Virgil Hunter, there was a power outage in the city. Well, he's having a power outage here in this round when it comes to the power punches. Although, look at him now going to the body. Wow.
Anything that Berto was throwing, I think, wasn't effective to this point on Shawn at all because he stayed in his face from here on out to the rest of the fight.
When someone landed as many body punches as Porter is in this round. Amazing.
When Berto gets some distance, he's able to land some shots. But the counter hook there. But you see
Good footwork, good pivot by Porter.
Porter takes that space right away.
Berto knows he can't deal with the relentless guy like Shawn Porter, man, at all.
Okay, tell me about that round. Tell me what you did. So I know.
Shawn Porter and Andre Berto, we won't look at this in slow motion. We'll look at it in real time to show you the amount of punches, the fact that they were
Wow,
at
that left hook.
Porter, for the most part, getting the better of these exchanges, whipping body punches and headshots as well. But just the pressure of Shawn Porter, which we've talked about, pretty remarkable. As Berto wanted to try and counter, just couldn't do it.
Berto rolling on a lot of that, partially blocking, but it's also it's mentally fatiguing because you feel like, yo, this guy's just not getting it off me.
Shawn, right here.
This is the round right here, you guys. Where Porter wins. But the ref stops the fight. Not the doctors. But come on, Berto's no slouch, man. He's not going to give up and quit that easy. But watch how relentless Shawn is
Yeah, here we are in round number 9.
in this round. He really takes it to a whole
A
nother level.
testament to both of their conditioning as well, Paulie,
Yes.
because Porter anticipated that Berto would be fading in this portion of the fight as he gets caught with the left hand.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the
Boy, that
jab,
jab is just stiff.
finding its target for Porter.
Everybody getting work tonight, the fighters.
Oh, and there goes Berto backpedaling.
That's it.
And Porter attacking with a reckless abandon.
Yeah, took a headbutt first.
They're calling it a knockdown because of the ropes.
You want to continue? Walk towards me. Walk over here. You want to continue? Come on. Here we go.
Hey, everybody getting work out tonight. The fighters, the refs, the doctors.
And Porter's jab. And Andre Berto's visage beginning to resemble what we've seen in
Remember when I
prior
told you
contests
earlier in
now?
the fight that I thought, like,
Yeah, unfortunately,
with all those
for him,
headbutts, that Berto kind of had a slight mild
and
concussion?
he's shown
I
the same
really do
cadence
believe
and
that, man.
toughness as in other fights, but he is dominated.
Ah,
And Porter continues to pour on the pressure. Clipped him with the left hook. Berto up against the ropes again.
And there he goes.
And that's it. The referee stops the fight. And Showtime Shawn Porter becomes the mandatory challenger for Keith Thurman's WBC title.
it was those headbutts, man. That the relentlessness from Shawn Porter was right on point. And then he did exactly what everybody knows he's going to do. But those headbutts, man, I really think Andre Berto had a mild concussion and really could not be as effective as he wanted to be with those
It takes
headbutts.
the fight out of you. Like I said earlier in the fight, it's not just a physical thing, it's a mental thing too. It takes the
That
fight out of
kid
you.
sharing a moment together. Their bond is extremely close, as we pointed out.
That's father and son right there.
Man, he earned his victory and his paycheck tonight.
A
He
grueling fight.
dispatches, the battle-tested Andre Berto, who faced defeat for the 5th time, but Showtime Shawn Porter. He said he wanted to run it back with Keith Thurman. He has now earned the right to do just that.
Now, as we go back to the sequence that would be the beginning of the end of this fight, there was a clash of heads, it appears, that initially stunned Andre Berto, and that's what he was trying to tell the referee. Here we see that's where the banging of the heads together looks like it really stuns Andre Berto, and you can see that that is what started his issue.
And let me tell you, the side of your head is also thinner with the skull, so when you got butted there, you know, you're going to feel that a little bit more.
And so he's in trouble because of the clash of heads. Now, in theory, right there, he could have gotten a moment to recover, but the referee didn't see it as a clash of heads. Then later on, it would rain punches from Shawn Porter, throwing the uppercut and the right hand, not everything getting in there, but then the left hook, and he's just teeing off
another left hook that
Berto,
just really
in trouble, and that was the left hook that sent him against the ropes, and created a knockdown. And then the end of the fight, as we take a look from a couple of different angles, Porter cranking up those left hooks. Porter has a pretty good left hook. We talk about his overhand right, but his left hook is also a very good punch. Keep continuing to throw it, keeping up the pressure against Andre Berto, and ultimately that's when Mark Nelson would step in and say, we've seen enough, and Andre Berto.
Well, we're going to stop that, and I'm going to go ahead and come back to you guys. But there you have it, man. That's what it was. You had Shawn Porter being very relentless towards Andre Berto. I told you guys that on last night, and it was just a tough fight for Andre Berto. I believe Berto is done in the welterweight division. I don't think he's going to be up there competing with any of the top fighters anymore. If anything, he may have a sell-off fight. I don't know against who, because who do you turn to if you're Andre Berto, you know? But as of right now, he's not even in the thick of things. I mean, you got, like I stated earlier, Keith Thurman wants to either unify with Errol Spence, or he wants the Manny Pacquiao fight. He really not saying anything too much about his mandatories because, for one, he already beat Shawn Porter. So why go ahead and fight Shawn Porter again, even though in the post-fight interviews where Keith Thurman came to the ring, Keith Thurman said that he would, you know, if it came down to it, fight Shawn Porter. You know, he don't have a problem with fighting Shawn again. He wants to come back in November, but he wants to come back and fight Manny Pacquiao. That's who he's really looking to fight. It's a big money fight for Keith. And it'd be really good if he could get that belt from Pacquiao. And so not only that, but if Errol Spence goes to Sheffield and handle business with Kell Brook, which everybody believes he's going to do, that Kell Brook and Errol Spence match for unification I'm telling you, I'm going to that fight. If that fight is in Brooklyn, I'll be there. If that fight's going to be either at a bigger venue in Vegas, I'll be there, or Madison Square, which I highly doubt. I don't know if it'll be in Madison Square. I'm not sure. But wherever that fight is, Errol Spence versus Keith Thurman Jr. for the unification bout, that fight's going to be lit. I'm telling you guys, it's going to be lit. And best believe I'm going to be there. Jeremy Sports Network is going to be there. And it's going to be awesome, man. It's going to be awesome. And this fight right here, this was still a good fight at the end of the day with Shawn Porter and Andre Berto. Still a good fight. I'm going to be bringing you guys later the Jermell Charlo fight versus Charles Hatley, which was a phenomenal fight by Jermell Charlo. So stay tuned, guys, man. This is Jeremy Sports Network bringing you nothing but the best content in sports. Make sure you follow me on social media, on Facebook at Jeremy Sports Network, on Instagram at It's My Time _229. And I'm telling you, you guys won't you will be satisfied with a lot of content that I'm going to be bringing you guys, especially in the future, because not only do I do boxing, but from the NBA to the NFL to the Major League Baseball to golf to everything. I mean, we're touching it all and we're covering it on all bases. And definitely, it started with boxing. And like I said, we're gonna bring boxing back to the forefront, man, because I love it. I love it. This is this is the reason why I started doing what it is that I'm doing now, is because of boxing. And definitely it's because of this guy right here, Nestor Gibbs. Shout out to Nestor Gibbs at the Boxing Voice. And also, I want to give a shout out to T Street Controversy, man, because I was watching T Street Controversy back in 2014, where I was sitting down on a couch with actually this laptop right here. I tell everybody this story. This is the laptop right here that pretty much got me started covering boxing. I didn't have my Mac like I have now. I didn't have anything that I have right now. I started with this, and I'll never forget where I started from. Sitting on the couch, covering sports, covering boxing at that. It was getting ready. We were getting geared towards 2014, the talks of Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather. And I was, man, I'm telling you, I was kind of geared up for that. And that's what really got me into covering boxing and paying attention to the sport. And hands down, this is just something that I love to do. And I'm going to be fair. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to tell the truth. I'm not biased towards any of these fighters, man. I just state the facts of what it is that I see, state the facts of what it is that is the truth, and I give you that. And you can expect that from everything that I give you guys, from football, Major League Baseball, National Football League, the NBA, all of that. So I'll be coming back, probably doing another live stream again tonight, covering the NBA and talking about Cleveland closing out their series. We're going to talk about also Boston and their series with Chicago. I mean, we have a lot to talk about. So stay tuned. This is Jeremy Sports Network. I'm signing out. Peace.